All right, Shalaki, I had a little bit of a malfunction here. So back in Isaiah 55:11, it says, So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. You see? So everything that the Most High said is going to happen in this country, in this world, is going to happen, man. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. It's nothing that your fear can do about it. It's nothing that your emotions are going to do about it. Everything that the Lord said is going to happen in this world, it's going to happen. And right now, for us Israelites, we're in a time right now where we should be, in rejoicing, man. That everything that the Lord promised us was going to happen is happening. So this is a time now where we should be rejoicing. All right, so again, back to the conversation that I had with this young man. I basically I let him know that everything that's going on in the world today is due to biblical prophecy, and nothing else, and no other thing can precede that or take precedence over that. So whatever the prophecy said is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. So that was yesterday. So today's conversation, I was talking to a colleague of mine, and I mentioned the conversation I was having with this other gentleman, and I told him that this young man said that he felt like this country could never be destroyed, and he himself, he's an Edomite, but he himself said, I don't believe that. Every great kingdom has fallen rather. But he said this one thing he said was, but not in our time. It's not going to happen in our time. And that's like the default saying that people have. It's like, oh yeah, I believe it's going to happen, but not in this time. But the same thing happened in Rome. The same thing happened in Rome, where they got built up to its apex, to its climax, and certain things took place, and then that kingdom fell. And the same thing people say now in this time, whereas, oh, it won't happen in this lifetime. It happened to them. So who are we to dictate whose lifetime is going to happen in? And I always say this to people that statement is driven by fear, because what better time than now would there be for America to be destroyed? And what I said to him was this: America's strength came from our military might. We had I keep saying we, it's throwing me off, but this country had the nuclear missile, and we could use that to strong arm these other nations. But now all these other nations, they have the same weapons. Russia has made it possible, like it was prophesied in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, for all these small nations to now have the same might that we have. As a matter of fact, let me go here. Start at the third verse. This is Joel 3:3. It says, actually I'll start at 4. It says, Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense on your own head. Right. So all of this stuff ultimately is happening due to these other nations trying to take vengeance on the Heavenly Father's decision or his election to choose the nation of Israel as his chosen, as the apple of his eye. So these other nations have taken it upon themselves to destroy us, but the Lord said he's gonna fend for us, right? So it says here, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. You see, and this is what happened. Our people were sold unto the Grecians, and now the Lord is going to fight for us, right? But let me get to the point. This is verse 7. It says, Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense on your own head. You see, he will raise us. He says, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. And this is where we were sold, right? Weren't we sold unto America? So he said he's going to deliver us out of the place where we were sold, right? And return the recompense on your own head. And what's the recompense? Let's keep going. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the land of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Okay, so again, like it says in the scriptures, it says, well, let me just get it, because I forget exactly what it says. I'll open up, and you know what? I'll go back and come back to this. 14. Go to this real quick, and then I'll go back to that one. It says, right, this is it right here, verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You see, so that's what the Lord is going to do to fend for us. They took us and sold us into captivity, so the same thing has to be done in return, right? So let's go back to Joel. Okay, it says here in verse 8, it says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Again, it says here, for the Lord hath spoken it. So again, everything that happens on this world is because the Lord has said it's going to happen. The Heavenly Father said it was going to happen, and this is why all these things come to pass. All right, this is verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So this is the second part of that vengeance that the Lord has. So now, along with, you know, the changing of the guard, so to speak, the changing of the power seat, this is also what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen to take them out of that power seat. So now all these other nations are preparing for war. And again, like I said, what better time than now for America to be brought down, when you have all these smaller, so-called weaker nations that now have the same power and might that we have, right? It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So at one time, you had, like I said, America was the strong arm. They had that nuclear missile, and they can, you know, pretty much go around bullying everybody. Whatever America said, that's what went on. But now, because of due to Russia and their advancement in military, they are now selling their missiles and their nuclear weapons to other countries, Venezuela, North Korea, Libya, and this was all prophesied in the scriptures. So what do you mean it's not going to happen in our lifetime? And if not our lifetime, then whose? Everything in this story is set. The stage is set, as they say. All it has to do now is play out. All the pieces are in place. You got all these weaker nations that have the nuclear missile that never had the missile before, right? You got the Israelites out on the highways and byways reclaiming their heritage, right? You got the people that are in the power seat losing their power, or the nation that would have the Israelites in captivity is losing its power, right? And I'm going to go to that too. I think it's did I read what I want to read here? Let me read one more verse and then I'm going to go to where I want to go. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened. You see? So before they were weak, or now or sleep, so to speak, and now they're being wakened. It says, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right, which is Jehoshaphat, which is the Heavenly Father's judgment, right? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow. Their wickedness is great, you see. So what better time than now? And what better person than this guy, Donald Trump, to usher that in? I think he's dumb enough to hit the button. Right? So what better person, what better stage, what better setting than now for this all these things to happen? Right? Let me go to I think it's actually I don't know why I'm pressing back. Bear with me for a second. All right, this is the Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not." Right, and that's our duty. Don't try to come back into this thing now that the prophecies are coming to pass. You know, we had a guy years ago who had that mentality. You know, who he would wait until the prophecies start getting hot and start heating up to now want to jump in. You know. It says here, nor the days draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right. And that's what a lot of people do too. They wait till they get old in age to turn their lives over to the Heavenly Father. You're supposed to do that in the better years of your life. And that's what this ministry has been about. Us sacrificing the better years of our life to do the bidding of the Heavenly Father. Right. It says here, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Okay, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? So who's the keepers of the house? The Edomites, right? They're the keepers of this house. And this is the day when they're trembling, right? Now, when I was saying all these things to this like I said, one of my colleagues, when I was saying these things to him, the look of fear that was on his face was so gratifying. I can't even tell you how gratifying it was to see the deflation on his face, because this is a proud man. You know, he thinks he's clever. He considers himself a reasonable person who can rationalize everything, but he couldn't rationalize himself out of the sense that this makes. What better time than now for this country to be brought down? That's the state it's in. Hence the name of the topic, the State of the Union. This country is not in a position or a place where it can now rebuild itself. It's too late. It's gone too far. You know. So it says let me see here. Right. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right, meaning there's no future. When they used to teach you in high school to have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, but you can't do that nowadays. You don't know when the Heavenly Father is going to get this thing going, man. You know, there is no future for this place. It says here, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You can't tell me that that is not happening. The daughters of music being brought low. Look at the quality of music that we have in the world. Every song sounds the same, as far as instrumentally, lyrically, vocally. Every artist sounds the same. There's no creativity in music anymore. So all the stage is set. All the actors are ready. They got their cue cards. They know when it's time for them to go. The show is set. Now it's just ready to say action and raise that curtain up, man. Everything is in place. Everything that needs to be in place is in place. All right. Let me see what else I got on this list here. I read that. Let's go to this last one here that I didn't read yet. This is Isaiah 47. Come on now. Alright, this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. So that's talking about this place, right? Sit in the dust, there is no throne, O daughter of Babylon, right? O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And isn't this country known as the tender and delicate lady, right? But the scriptures call it the whore that sitteth on the beast, right? Verse 47 and verse 2, it says, take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, right? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So again, it says, thy shame shall be seen. And how is that happening? Through this ministry, man. You got you got brothers in Texas, you got brothers in California and Chicago, you got brothers here in Massachusetts, you got brothers over there in the UK, you got brothers in Jamaica, you got brothers in Mexico, you got brothers in Alaska. So this ministry has spread throughout the whole world like it was prophesied it would have. This is what I'm saying. Like everything, every piece is in place. Everything that the Lord said would happen before the end would come is in place, man. Now all this left is for the Lord to snap his fingers and say go, and all of this thing is going to unravel, man. All of it is going to unravel right before our eyes. This is verse 4. It says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. It says, sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. It says, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. You see, and rightfully so. You got. If you look into it, these other nations, now that we've had this shit show of an election, they don't take America seriously anymore. So what better time now than to strike this place, man? What better time? All right, so this is I'm gonna continue on. It says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And didn't they do that? So now the chickens have come home to roost. The cows have come home to moo. In other words, karma is on your ass, man. All the things that all the wickedness that this country has done, you think that nothing's gonna happen for it? As just and fair as the Heavenly Father is, you think that He's gonna allow this country, this land, this world to do the things that it has done to the apple of His eye, and nothing gets done for it? There's no way. Right? It says here, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Just like that young kid that I was talking to said. To him, there's no way in hell America can be destroyed. There was no way in hell. Right? I'll be a lady forever. Right? So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. The latter end of it is destruction for this place, man. That's the latter end of it. And right now, again, like I said, it's time for us who have come into the know, to rejoice, man. And like I said to the brothers in the camp, I said, right now we're in a time of prayer, a time of supplication, to beg the Lord to fight for us, man. So that we can be covered by His mercy and by His grace. That's the time we're in. It's different. It's frightening, but you gotta have faith that the Lord is gonna make due on His promise, man. You gotta have faith that the Lord is gonna deliver you like He said He would. All right, so that's all I had. I just want to talk about the conversation that I had at work the last couple of days. I'm kind of walking around with a smile on my face, with my chest poked out, because all these things are happening, man. And this is our time, man. This is our time. So Kwame Yasharala, it's our time, man. So with that, I want to say Tawadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for allowing me to take part in this truth, to continue to fight for my place. I'm indebted. I'm grateful. Also, double honors to the elder apostles who rule well and continue to teach us, to continue to give us the tools on how to bring this thing out properly. And also honor and salutations to you other brothers who are of the hopeful elect. And to that, I'm going to say shalom.